my amazing artists. So this week we are going to start learning how to draw some self-portraits. Now, self-portraits we have been doing ever since you were in kindergarten. We do one every year at the beginning of the year, and then we get to do it again at the end of the year because we get to see how we grow as artists. Sometimes we are learning new skills, and then by the end of the year, your artistic skills have advanced, and you can see it in your artwork. So you are getting ready to go to middle school next year, and that's one of the things that you need to know how to do is how to do a realistic self-portrait. And self-portraits can actually mean a lot of things. It could be a way to express yourself. It could be a way to show your emotions. It could also be a way to just show how you have grown as a person over a year. All right, so let's take a quick look and see how other artists have done their self-portraits. Self-portraits are a type of art that all artists do. It helps show who they are as a person, it helps express their emotions, and tells us a little bit of who they are, and we can see how they grow. Here's the famous pop artist Romero Britto. You can tell that it's him through his drawing, but also through his pop art expression that he adds to his picture. So how do we make our self-portraits go from this, which kind of looks a little cartoony, to making it realistic? Well, how we do that is by what we call proportion. Our face, we know, is symmetrical. It is the same on two sides. But did you know that it also has specific measurements to where your stuff should be laid out? Okay, so that's what we're going to learn today. You need to have your artwork book if you are at home, and you need to open it up to this page that has proportions and a face down here. Okay, so grab that and then we will do this together. All right, so at this point you should have your work page open out of your workbook. Okay, so it says portraits. In order to paint such a beautiful portrait, Mary Cassatt, who's a famous artist, had to study the features on her face. So follow the directions and you'll learn some of her secrets. All right, so we are actually going to practice first up here before having you draw a portrait down here. Okay, so first off, let's explain some things. Growing up, you would draw your face, and then you put your nose in the middle, and then you'd have your eyeballs. Hello. And your eyebrows. And oh, I look sad. Okay. Does this look realistic? No, it looks very cartoony. Okay, so when we talk about proportions, basically what we're doing is we are mapping out our face because we know our face is symmetrical, so that's why we sketch a guideline down the center, and then we also sketch one halfway. So let's show you something. So what is the middle of your face? Okay, so we have always thought that our nose is the middle of our face, but actually, let me set this up so you can see. Okay, so if I were to put a finger on top of my head and a finger on my chin and I merge together, they're going to actually stop at my eyes, okay? Your eyes are actually the middle of your face and not your nose, okay? So you are going to lightly sketch across. That's the halfway point, okay? So in the middle of each of those sides, we're going to put a little line. So what do we think is those dots for? What are those dots for? Okay, that is actually the middle of your eyes. Okay, so we know we have, get my mirror back here, I have a black dot in the middle of my eye, and then I surround it with the color. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little black dot, and then around my eye, make a circle. Okay, so those are my middle of my eyes, my eyeballs. Okay, and then on top of that, we have eyelids. So that's where our eye shape comes in. So there's one, kind of looks like a lemon, like a rainbow on top and a rainbow on the bottom. All right, so now that's starting to look like eyes. Okay, so from there to there, we draw a line down the middle. And what do we think that is? Well, let me show you on my face. So I have my eyes and the chin, and if I were to bring those down, that's going to be the tip of my nose. Okay, so let's show you how to draw your nose. Okay, draw a hint of a nose and a nose line. So here, I'm going to do a U. That's the bottom of the nose part. And then you have two nostrils on the side. So that's like a double extra U on the side. Okay, and I can erase my little line. And then I can actually do the top of my nose. Okay. All right, and then again from the nose to the bottom of your chin, that's where the mouth goes. So I'm going to go from here to here and draw another guideline, and that's going to be the middle of my mouth. So did you know that your mouth actually goes, if I were to draw a straight line up from the sides of my mouth straight up, it's going to be right in the middle of my eyes. So your mouth isn't very small. It actually goes almost to where your pupil should be. All right, just to show you. All right, so I'm going to continue. Maybe I'm smiling. And then we have the brow of our mouth, which is a M shape. And then we have the bottom lip, like that. All right, so now we're starting to look more like a human, more like a real person. But we are all each unique and beautiful and very different. So that's where our details come in. So we have some eyebrows. We have eyelashes. Yes, boys and girls both have eyelashes. There's my eyelashes. Okay. What else do we have? We have ears, people. Can't forget the ears. They actually start at your eyes and they go the same distance as your nose. We all have ears. Okay. We kind of look like an egghead here. What are we missing at the top? Hair. So we actually all have what we call a hairline. So here's the top of my head. And so that's where you see the top of your hair. So my hairline may be around here. And I part my hair on the side. So I'm going to add my hair coming down. And it only goes to about here. So that's where I'll finish my hair. This side kind of comes over. I got my braid. Maybe if you have, really short hair, you might have some spikes. Okay, so you got to kind of figure out what your hair looks like. Okay, so all of these added details, that's how we make it look more realistic. Okay. All right, so this was our practice sketch. So now we're going to move on and we're going to do it for real this time. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to sketch out our lines. Straight down the middle, straight across. All right, so we remember that this is actually our eyes. So I'm going to put a little dot in the middle of each of those. And that's where my eyes are going to go. So now you're going to continue drawing the rest of your self-portrait. Don't forget all of the proportions that we just learned about and add those into it, as well as look at all the awesome details that make you who you are. All right, so now the last part that really makes us come alive is adding some color in. So grab any art materials you have, colored pencils, crayons. I prefer colored pencils because I can blend and mix colors together really well. And then add some color to your picture. So what color are my eyes? So that's why I got my mirror. I think my eyes actually have brown in them and a little bit of green. So I'm going to add that into my picture. right, so here is my self-portrait, okay? It may not look exactly like me, but I don't think it's that bad, okay? It definitely looks a lot more realistic than the cartoon that I showed you with just putting eyes and nose in a circle. Okay, so you were going to finish the rest of this worksheet, okay? Color in your awesome self-portrait, and then those of you who are remote, make sure you upload it into the Google Classroom, and I will see you guys next week. All right, bye guys!